Excursions, my friends. Welcome back. Happy New Year, happy first hike day, and I'm thrilled that you're spending some time with us. Currently, I have Mr. Waylon over here, my little Miho. We are in the Franklin Mountain State Park. We are just north of El Paso, just south of New Mexico, and we are on the northern portion of the Pipe Trail. As you can see, the views are gorgeous here, per usual. The sun is finally coming out, so I can say we are in sunny El Paso, and it's going to be a great little adventure. So let's talk about Mr. Waylon here. He is kind of having a rough start to his day. Last night it was New Year's Eve, and well, there's really only two things I've ever seen that make Waylon uncomfortable. One is me when I get upset and cry, and two is fireworks. So he did not sleep very well last night. Poor little tyke, he was up, he was restless, he was shaking. Poor guy. And his sister Edith also tried to eat his breakfast this morning, so he wasn't quite thrilled. Driving out here, it was a little bit chilly. It was in the low 40s, so I had some jammies on him that I put under his vest. As you can see, we've since taken those jammies off. I didn't want them to rub him and chafe him because he is wearing different vests, and I don't know where the hot spots are going to be for that. I don't want him to be uncomfortable. Speaking of being uncomfortable, this terrain is a little bit difficult on a little guy's paws. So I'm keeping an eye out on him as well, making sure that he's not limping, he's not favoring any of his little paws. And there are some portions on this trail that are particularly harsh, and I'll just be carrying him over that. He's a trooper, but I want to make sure that this stays fun for him. Otherwise, I'll be sad if my Miho doesn't want to hike with me anymore. So we are going to continue on with our little excursion. Okay guys, I gotta be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here just because new year, new learning, you may not know, but you see these stacked rocks? Please don't do that. So we are in a state park. This is a huge conservation area. I mean, we're in the desert, we hardly get rain, it takes forever and a half for vegetation to grow. So a lot of the flora and fauna will use the rocks in their natural formations as shade, as shelter, as water reservoirs. So when we disrupt nature, it makes it really hard for all the little bugs and all the little lizards and all the little snakes to, well, enjoy their habitat. So one of the best things that you can do in a conservation area is to practice the leave no trace principle. So that means if you have a snack, you take the wrapper out. If your dog poops, you take the poop out with you. If you see a really cool rock, you leave the rock alone. And as a geology major, I get it, I love rocks too, but let's let nature be. friends, as you can see, the trail is about to get pretty dang steep and pretty dang difficult to navigate. I think for the amount of time that I have available today to, I don't want to say goof off and play, because this is really good for my soul, but the amount of free time I have versus the amount of responsibilities I have, I think this is going to be the end of the trail for me and my little Miho. Where is he? There he is. Good boy. Good boy. Does that feel better? Yeah? Okay, cool. So I was talking to Mr. Waylon here, and the harness that he was wearing, he doesn't normally wear, is a little bit loose, and I think it was beginning to chafe him a little bit. Every time that we would stop for a little drink of water, he would just start rubbing on me. So I took it off, and since it's still a little bit chilly, I put some of his jammies back on him. So we are going to proceed, but it's so important for you if you're going to go hiking with dogs. Listen to your dogs, make sure you understand when they're trying to communicate with you, if they're uncomfortable, if they're unhappy, and make sure that you can make this the best experience possible for them. So poor Waylon, he has had enough of today, and now he's demanding to be carried, which, you know, I think if fireworks kept me up all night, and if I had a sister and she tried to eat my breakfast, and I had a harness that was bothering me, I'd want to be carried too. So I don't mind. I'm just going to carry him for a little bit. He'll probably get his wind back in him soon, and we'll carry on from there. As you can see, Mr. Waylon is back on his own four paws now. While holding him, it's giving his little muscles a rub down, I happened to notice there's a tiny little prickly pear cactus spine that was in his arm. So that was probably why he didn't want to hike. I'm sure that was very uncomfortable. But we got it out, and he is back to being his happy, sassy little self. He's still a little bit grumpy, but I'm sure with a pup cup, he's going to be much better. If you liked the content that you saw today, please leave a little like. Feel free to subscribe. And if there's anything that you'd like to see differently, if you'd like me to talk about anything else, leave a little comment and I will try to address that in my next video. See you, friends.